Welcome back, everybody. This is the Dying Reborn walkthrough for level 2, or section 2, Get Locked Up. So, obviously you escaped the initial room, and now we're exploring the story a little bit more. And you know your name. Congratulations. Hello, Matthew. So, first puzzle, I guess, is using that fire extinguisher to knock off the lock. And right away pick up that dry rag. That'll be very important. I mentioned this in the last video, but you know what? I should probably reiterate some of these pretty helpful tips, actually. Do not forget to save between every level. The game does not auto-save. I lost my progress, and it was very frustrating having to play through some of the levels a second time. I mean, it goes very quick once you know the answers, but still, it's just a waste of time. So don't forget to save. Also, you may notice items in my inventory that are out of place or out of time, or you have no idea how I got them. Do not pay attention to the items that I already have in my inventory, because sometimes they're from later on in the level, and I'm replaying a level in this video. Because there are unused items that I'm not quite sure what the purpose is of them yet. But anyway, I'm also cutting out all the cutscenes in this walkthrough, so I don't spoil the surprises or spoil any of the story if you're just watching these videos for the sake of trying to figure out where the next clue is or where the next item is or how to get to the next step because you're just stuck. And I've been thinking about this. I think you can kind of break the puzzles and the tricks in this game into like 4 different categories. There's finding items and using items. There's finding clues and then interpreting clues. And the most frustrating thing in the world is where I got stuck on this level for a very, very long time was finding that rag. I just didn't think to like interact with that stack of boxes in the beginning. And then there was a rag in there, and I very clearly realized, like, okay, there's smudges underneath this painting. It says they're dirty, and I have a puddle of water, but how do I clean it off? And it was just because I couldn't find the item. And then as soon as I wiped that off, I realized, oh, 0704, that's obviously the key code for July 4th, obviously the key code for this safe. So, and like interpreting clues that it gives you, that's an unbelievable sense of satisfaction once you look at it and you kind of twist it around your mind, and that one was pretty straightforward. There are clues later on where it kind of takes a stroke of like, ooh, oh, that's how you're supposed to use that information, and that's a very satisfying feeling. But when you can't find a clue, or you're looking right at a clue and then you don't realize it's a clue, or if you can't find an item, those end up being the most frustrating parts of, well, to be honest, any puzzle game. It's not exclusive to this puzzle game. It's just something common in, really in any game. And that ends up being such a frustrating moment. And that's one of the reasons that I love making walkthroughs like this, is because I feel that pain, and I ran around in circles for 10-15 minutes trying to find that rag. I was like, oh, like I know there's something. I know I'm supposed to find a sponge or something to clean off the smudge to find the code, but I just couldn't find it. Anyway, so now that you're into the, I guess, 3rd stage of this level, you need to interact with that door, and that kind of, for whatever reason, shakes those boxes around and gives you access to the next item that you need to find. You may have noticed that we found a couple coins already that have letters on them. When you spin the coins around, they have letters on them. And eventually, we're trying to find 3 separate coins that spell out the name Lily. But before we get there, we have to put the radio on that table in the dusty spot where it was clearly sitting for a very long time. And now you can interact with that circuit breaker box on the wall and just turn any one of them a couple times, and it's going to snap off a one-way cable connector. Back out of there. And before you solve that circuit puzzle, you need to connect the one-way cable connector to that loose cable that's hanging right there, which connects it to the radio. And then you picked up duct tape in this room as well. Nope, not the eye coin, the duct tape. Here we go. Use the duct tape on that cable to secure the loose wire connection. Now you can solve this circuit puzzle, and you're supposed to trace the wires from the top to the bottom with your eyes, I guess, and create a complete circuit to send power to the radio. And there's a red button in the top right of the circuit that'll let you know, whether or not the circuit has been completed. It'll turn green when you have completed it correctly. Then you use the wet rag on the trophy that you got from the safe in the second room to realize you're supposed to tune the radio to F104. When you tune it to F104, it then gives you the code for this briefcase here, which is 520345. Now, this code here is static, and I haven't tried this yet, but I would imagine that you could, if you don't want to do all the steps and you just want to put that code in, that you can. There is a situation later in this level where the game does randomly generate numbers, and you cannot just use my walkthrough. You actually have to follow the steps to see what the game gives you as a code to escape this room. Also, and I didn't mention this in the first video of the walkthrough, but nothing, at least so far in this game, carries over from one room to the other in terms of items that you are required to solve a puzzle. So you may have leftover items that move from one level to the next, but they are by no means required to solve the puzzle. So we're going to use the umbrella trick again to grab the item that's out of reach. You're going to grab that Jack Daniel's whiskey bottle. And underneath the bottle is a key to open up this door on the left. And you'll notice a couple numbers scrawled on the kind of highlighted numbers scrawled on that wall. So make a note of those. And there's a set of lockers to my right now that you're going to enter a code on to get the final coin with a letter on it back in that safe that you opened up a room or two ago. So now you want to enter. So 0312 is one of the optional items. 3401 along the bottom, and it sums up, like the numbers on the bottom sum up the amount of selected cubes above it. So so we got the fourth coin. I haven't figured out how to open up the other lockers yet. There might be other optional items that I don't know what to do with quite yet. So once you have all 3 extra coins, you can now put them in this safe, spell out Lily, and that turns that around to give you a little bit more story information. And in a second, there'll be a nice little surprise, and you have to look through the window to see what that number is on the mannequin on the right. That is the number that I was referring to that is randomly generated. You cannot just use my number. You need to actually solve the puzzle yourself, and that will give you a number for you to complete the puzzle. So, and then you put it here on the door, and you're on to the 3rd level, Last Harbor. So thanks for checking out this video. Be sure to check out the rest of the videos in my playlist if you need help solving the rest of this game. And be sure to subscribe for more updates from me and WikiGameGuides. Thanks for watching, and game on.